Hello, everyone. Blue Star Saber here with.
Hey guys, MangaReader here.
LuckyRave back at it again for what is this, like the road to the penultimate chapter? Yeah.
Yes, fellas, we're here to discuss My Hero Academia. Chapters 428. What? Sorry, what?
Yep,
Bless you.
I sneezed.
Let's see. Okay. Chapter 428 and 429. Izuko Choco confirmed? Hello,
Yeah.
space. Let's see. So, yeah. So, as you probably many of us know from last time, we were reviewing pretty much the epilogue chapters that were building up to like the final of My Hero Academia, where we got the conclusion of like Darby and his family for one particular bit, as well as some of the other heroes and how they were building up, how they were repairing damage from like the villain's attack on Hero Society. Yes, it is good to be back, but yeah, though. Granted, low chapters. Let's see, 430 is unofficially out. Me and the guys, let's see. Well, me in particular, like to review the official translations of the chapter that are usually free on Viz for a couple of weeks before they go out. But yeah, so I figured we save chapter 330 for its own special review, but instead we will discuss these two chapters which are let's see, may or may not answer the long old question of is Izuku and Uraraka going to be canon?
Or if you want to go by the actual ship name, it's Actually, there's two. There's IzuOcha and Green Tea. That's the other two names.
Wait, I have not heard the second one.
Green Tea? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, I have not heard it.
Hey,
Wait.
I've never heard that. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
What part of the fandom have you been listening to, Lucky Chi?
Since the beginning.
Let's see. I don't know. Ooh, even space here is confused. Context, Lucky Chi. Give us context.
Let's see. I mean, they're gonna go all the way back to the beginning.
I can understand Midoriya being the green bit, but what does Uraraka got to do with tea?
Because Ochiko means tea child.
Ah.
Yeah, I was like, I get it for the Midoriya part being green, and then Ochiko's main name's tea child. Thus, you get green tea.
I see. Well, Space says just call it like green, pink, or gravity for all. Okay, well, anyway, so basically, with that pretty bit of context cleared up, but yeah, we pretty much this chapter. Let's see, these two, as the title suggests. Let's see, given what has the epilogue, the cliffhanger from the last chapter, you got a bunch of Fern girls for like a Bakugo and Shoto chasing them about, which is confusing like them as well as Midoriya, which led to many believe that the next two chapters will try and tackle like the Uraraka Midoriya ship and whether or not it will become canon. We're about to find out whether it is not. Let's see, as we get into the summary where we get like all the first year students, particularly the fangirls, and even some fanboys apologizing to like the students for like class 2A now. I still gotta get used to that. As they said how they saw it, particularly Bakugo's battle against All For One, and some have been fans of Todoroki since the sports festival, which is arguably when his popularity skyrocketed, that he's so much that he replaced Ida as one of the main characters.
Much to Blue's dismay.
Yeah, Ida's my boy. But yeah, as many of the students talk about how they chose this career path as them, well, Ida just pretty says, well, he understands that they're your role models, but they're also human, so you can so don't go angry mob and surround them and all that. With Shoto pointing out that he'd be happy to chat one at a time, please. And Let's see, with Ida saying, see, it takes a lot to make Todoroki flee from a conversation. Bakugo was just shouting how they were running in the hallway, and he was annoyed by that. Ooh, we got a word from Space saying, Todoroki replaced Ida? Nah. Ooh.
Who's Ida?
Ooh, look at you. You're about to start some fiery debates here. But well, don't leave us hanging.
Say what?
Okay, never mind. It looks like Ichi is taking a while to respond, but then Ida just points out, like, yes, like Bakugo says, no running in the hall. No, we have rules and all that stuff. But yeah, with then I'm pointing out that they're still recovering from the last battle, and all the new 1 year 1 students apologize, bowing their heads. Normally what they do in Japan, I believe, and talk about how they couldn't help themselves with the new member of Class 2A, Shinso, asking, I would have thought that Bakugo would release an adoring crowd. Let's see, with Sarah saying, even Bakugo can get flustered by that many fans, I guess. With Denki and Mineta still both showing signs of jealousy, the fact that those two are just so popular with many of the ladies.
I mean, Denki should be fine. I'll be real. He should be fine.
What, is it because he has, Jiro?
Mm-hmm. He should be fine.
Arguably, yes, but I guess he's still, I guess he's, like, I got a little bit of a Mineta in him. But anyway. Midoriya then explains to Shinsho that, girls have always kept their distance from Bakugo, so maybe he's not used to female attention, which, to be fair, let's see, given how many of them probably knew him personally back in the old school, I can understand why. Ooh, we've got a comment here from Space saying Bakugo and Todoroki replaced Ida and Oko as part of the main trio, which will always be a shame, but I never felt the idea that Todoroki replaced Ida himself, especially because of the Stain arc.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I think in some ways.
Though I will argue that I think Ochiko did regain her position towards like this final saga of the story. I will say that.
Yeah, arguably she managed to at least get at least one of the subplots in the war arc, at least. So
yeah,
at least there was that. Either just remained a support to like Shoto. Which I'm not against, though I do wish he got to at least do a bit more. At the very least, I hope that he at least took out that near high-end Nomu, but oh well, that's just me. Anyway, with Shinso now understanding that was the case, thinks it's a bit surprising, which, to be fair, let's see, if you go by the modern My Hero Academia fandom, a lot of fangirls do like Bakugo. But yeah. But you got Mineta just cussing, Bakugo and Bakugo saying, I give the guy props for his heroics, but saying that bad boys do not deserve to get the chicks. Which, to be honest, I can actually agree with that statement.
I mean, no, I'm not even going to go there.
Yes, we are thinking of certain franchises which have been ruined by certain girls going for the bad boys, like Ichi.
Of course.
You know what I mean.
That's in the past.
Anyway. Bakugo ends up just telling them to get lost already. They apologize. Let's see. As a result, Shinso says, okay, you know what? It's not that surprising now that I see it close up. Anyway, but you get one student saying, excuse me, going to Midoriya-senpai, saying how he's, when he saw him in the fight, it's saying it gave him a sort of courage. And he felt like he had to stand up and do something himself. And saying that he was super inspiring. I really mean it. So he thanks him. and also sorry to bother him. This surprises Midoriya, but it goes to show you that he at least still has one fanboy out there, or at least a small group of fanboys compared to like Bakugo and Shoto. And Midoriya, I think, ends up thinking, I believe, of Spinner, is it?
It's Spinner.
Yeah. And Midoriya is just being flustered, just like, oh, okay. And then thinks about this pain. Anyway, Mineta goes like, Midoriya and Todoroki get a pass, but bad boys don't deserve chicks, which, yeah, I can understand why Mineta feels that way.
Depends on how they're developed. That's the argument I could make.
Yeah.
But...
And usually, they usually end up poorly, so normally I don't really end up supporting it. But anyway, Space has got a comment, says, I believe there are 3 trios throughout the manga. The original trio of Ida, Oshoka, and Zuko. The big 3 trio of Bakugo, Todoroki, and Usuku. And finally, the saved/performed trio of Izuku, Todoroki, and Ochaku.
I agree. Especially that last part 2.
Okay. Anyway, and Spacer says, yeah, and Zuko still feels feeling the guilt. Oh, yeah, arguably with the
I don't blame... Actually, honestly, with what he's been through, I don't blame him one bit.
Arguably, yeah, true. Anyway, Mineta is just going, getting so jealous that he's pouring blood and just continuing the statement that I agree with last time, saying how his soul won't accept it. Let's see, with Red Riot saying, hey, come on, those battles were nuts, yeah. As you got like Tsuyu, Ashido, and Uraraka just looking in, which he's seemingly chatting to each other, but Uraraka's got her arms crossed and getting all, let's see, sparkle-eyed, I guess you could say.
Yeah, like her eyes are like glistened.
Yeah. With Red Riot saying they were the center of it all, so you can't really blame those kids. So, yeah, those 3 did end up fighting the 3 strongest villains in that arc.
Yes, they did.
So, yeah. So, what, Lucky?
I said yes, they did.
We then cut to, like, the staff room where you see Aizawa and Present Mike discussing, with Present Mike saying, asking about Amelia, still trying to interview questions to like Class 2A again. With Aizawa feeling that he's saying no. With I believe it's I always forget, Ectoplasma. I've forgotten his name.
Ectoplasm.
Again. Yeah, Ectoplasm saying, some would welcome the chance, particularly Mineta for one, which that is true given what we've seen for the last pages. With Aizawa saying that the others wouldn't, and he says that those lot take priority, which I do like it. Aizawa is considering like how every student is feeling right now. And it seems like Present Mike is also thinking about some of those students as well. And we've got a new audience member called Cetus P here saying hi. Hello, Cetus P. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong or not, but yes. Welcome to the stream. We are just currently summarizing and discussing bits and pieces of the chapters we go through.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we cut to Class 2A now. Doing reconstruction duty with Aizawa with them. And also with them is Fat Gum and Best Genius. And Cetus P saying, okay. With Fat Gum saying, it ain't Class A. Red Riot excited that he's working with Fat Gum. Him saying that he feels likewise in the settlement. And we then learn that Sun Eater has officially become Fat Gum's psychic since graduating from the UA.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah. With Best Genius telling them to go this way as they get like the members of some of the members of class to sorting out constructions, particularly with Yamamomo or Creati, just asking them to bring all the metals here, and some of them trying to level the ground. But yeah, Best Genius using his quirk saying that quite the damaged denim you are, aren't you? let's see, saying that, telling Bakugo he should really be recuperating. Ooh, we've got a comment from Cetus P clapping. So, but yeah. Let's see. As we see, Bakugo is mostly doing light lifting work, and then asks, let's see, a certain hero saying you're still doing a still being a pipsqueak, with him saying, "Worry not, I'm recovering a bit slowly."
Headshot, yeah.
Yeah, and it's none other than the hero Edgeshot, with him saying, with Bakugo asking, "Will you ever get back to normal?" With Edgeshot saying, "From the outset, I intend to Caesar the day and triumphant." So is that implying that he is going to come back to full strength, or does that just mean he's going to be like that from now on?
He might. I mean, you could take it either way, but what this basically just tells us is no one really died from the good guy's side.
Yeah, and Space leads up to the bit here where people are so mad that he didn't die. And to be honest, I have to agree with him. The fact that he's still alive annoys me.
I thought he said that he was going to die anyway when he did that. So yeah, it's kind of
yeah, that's exactly what I believe he said. I even watched the anime episode that came out, which even talked about that.
Yeah, I'm not actually. I'm not going to survive this, guys.
Oh wait, no, I'm going to survive and possibly come back to normal.
And look, I'll say this: if anyone has seen Fairy Tail, you should be used to this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So he's gonna got a concussion, and Space saying, "I don't mind too much." Well, let's see, and arguably, this is Fairy Tail levels of BS when it comes to fake out deaths. This annoys me. And while I'm used to that with Fairy Tail, because I know Hero just is too attached to these characters, I'm like, come on! This was a side character. This wasn't one of the major characters. I mean, granted, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised since Gran Torino is still bloody alive. When
don't even get me started on that.
Gran Torino.
Don't even get me started on that.
It's like, honestly, why are these things? Come on, at least I wanted to expect. At least I was expecting. Okay, even though Bakugo was being teased as a fake out death, I could at least accept one hero sacrificing him to come back. But even now, that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If there's anything I'm ranting at this epilogue, it's this.
How could this happen?
Oops, with Space saying everyone's durability in the series are so different.
That's true. That's very true.
Yes. Sometimes the better, sometimes the worse. And unfortunately for me, Edgeshot is the case here.
I didn't even know. Well, I don't know. Durability wise, we never even had an idea of what Edgeshot had. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Edgeshot didn't really get like a huge, like, heavy focus like early on in the story.
He appeared twice.
yeah, like he appeared like every now and then, but it wasn't like anything significant.
Yeah,
his first big thing was the Bakugo thing, rescue, whatever.
Yeah, that was his
which wasn't even the rescue; it was just the assault on the Nomu. Yeah.
Let's see. Say this piece saying he said he was going to die, but he didn't die, and that's why you're annoyed, right? Yes, that is exactly why I'm annoyed.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, and
Space,
it's like 8-gate guy, right? Yes. Let's see. In many ways, it is, though arguably 8-gate guy is worse because Guy was like a major character, but still, either way. But yeah, this is one.
Because Kid Jesus showed up. Oh yeah, here I've got the magical power. Let me just touch you and bless you with life.
But arguably, let's see. But yeah, like I said,
I mean, look, I know we have our major issues with the Fourth Green Ninja War, but I'll at least give it this: you actually still had characters dying there. So
yeah, look, arguably one of them did come back to life in Borta.
Well, that's bored.
And another was killed for shipping reasons.
Oh boy.
Point still stands though.
Yeah,
people died.
Yeah, all right.
People died.
Yeah, okay, but yeah.
It's war. Someone has to go.
Yeah,
Even if
okay.
it is for dumb
We got,
reasons.
let's see, with Farad Khan now appearing saying hi. Did the stream start now?
Yes.
It
Well,
started.
technically, yeah.
We started 20 minutes ago, and we're currently just we're summarizing and also sort of ranting a little bit.
We're slowly going through this.
Yeah. Let's
It's
see.
a very
As we're
slow
stuck
process
on
for two.
freaking page 5
I
or
know.
6.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let's see,
6
I'm
and
just going
7.
to say that let's see, for one thing, well, yes, this is a minor character. At the very least, I feel like this is not one that Koei should be attached to keep him alive. Anyway.
I'm not saying this is bad, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that we're stuck on page 6.
No, I'm not thinking it's bad. I just think it's funny.
But yes, we're on page like 5 or 6 now. But yeah, we're just getting more back onto the summary. You got Bakugo smiling at this. You see some of the citizens watching. Then we cut to Uraraka doing her gravity quirk, moving some boulders, with some elderly saying giving some these youngsters some lunch, as they've got like quite a bit of the Japanese delicacies you can see there. Some of them being surprised that it's really for them. With one of the elderly men saying that my property got blown off the map in the big battle, with Midoriya thinking about how we'll bring it all back, him apologizing for the fact that he was unable to keep the building safe. But the elderly man says, it's fine. It's not saying that he's holding it against them. And goes like, when he saw them all fighting the good fight, they realized they had no business sitting around and moping all the time. And saying they can't really ask you to handle this job all on their own, so they'll step up and help rebuild them. So we've got that. And saying, let's see, with the students saying that they'll finish the job today after being given this amazing feast. Let's see, with the, one of the others saying they might be a little short-handed, but they'll get it done that quickly. But a bus comes by with Eraser says another bus was scheduled to show up. And then we get, I believe it's Clayman, isn't it? Or Senti something?
Oh, Cementos?
Yeah, Cementos is saying, apologizing to Razorhead. We got a comment from CSP saying, the one thing we did as a kid, if we break something or do something wrong, you would blame it on the other sibling.
This
I
is
have
true.
no idea what this is referencing to, but okay. Anyway, Space says, good that the civilians are developing with them, helping them too, and not just having the heroes do everything. Yes, arguably, let's see, that is one thing that has been changed, at the very least, with Hero Society since the battle with, like, civilians getting more involved with helping out heroes whenever they can. Ooh, we've got a comment from Farid Khan saying, cool, looking forward to this review. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying listening to our review. But anyway, but Samantha says his class insisted on apologizing, with many of the witty year one students saying they're sorry again about earlier, and saying that they didn't consider what you guys been through. With Witty, I believe, Denki going like, these first years are seriously intense. Eraserhead getting annoyed with Cementos and saying, why did you humor them? With Cementos saying, the extreme remorse got to me.
Showing he has feelings.
Yeah, showing that he's not as strong-willed as Eraserhead and not as strict, it seems.
Oh, yeah, no. Aizawa would have locked him up in a room. Okay, but maybe not that, but you get the gist.
In many ways, I can start to see why Eraserhead is normally tasked with, like, monitoring the first-year students.
Right?
Yeah. Mostly just to discipline them before they can get into their second and third years.
That's true.
Who knows? You'll probably get them for a second year or something. But anyway, you get you pretty much get one of the students from before saying, you senpai fought hard for everyone, so they want to help him out in return. Mm-hmm. Even though they haven't got their provisional license and school year's only just begun, they ask them to do whatever they can. We have Samantha saying that just attend to minor tasks, don't get in the way of the second year students, with them saying, yes, sir. We have Red Riot saying these underclassmen are mysterious entities for real. And we've also got Tailman just doing like a little confused speech dart thing in the back. Let's see. Now, one of the elders says they didn't really prepare lunch for this many, but they said they've already eaten. So, yeah, it's the elderly young man's confused about how this came about, but thinks it's a good turn of events. Let's see that that expires the next hard and so on, as this comment reminds me of. Then Suyu asks IzuOcha something, but then Arrakis is smiling, saying little by little things are taking a positive turn, and it's a relief. Midori and Suyu are just paying attention. They think that, clearly from their expressions, they think something's up with Araka. With her saying, "That's all, I'm good," saying to Suyu, where it's asking if Deku what flavor of onigiri does Deku want. Let's see, with him saying Takana greens, and apparently that they both want the same.
That's cute.
Going like let's see, telling all the flavors. So yeah, they're pretty much their favorite ship. That's our favorite ship has the same taste flare. Uraka starts eating the food, but Midori is still noticing something of Uraka. Then we cut forward to 7 p.m. It's now nighttime, where the narration goes like, Fred Khan saying cute, and Space saying, maybe it's just me, but it looks like Izuku's hair has been growing back slowly throughout the chapters.
It definitely has. That's something I kind of picked up too when I was rereading these. I was like, huh, okay.
Yeah. So for those who did not like this hairstyle, be glad it's not sticking.
I mean, it should have been obvious.
I don't know. I think with City people have been so traumatized by certain protagonists showing the protagonists having their hair cut off, they were worried that this was going to be a permanent thing with Midoriya. Anyway.
Hey, in the great words of Kylo Ren, let the past die. Mic drop.
I thought you didn't like Kylo Ren.
Hey, he has some quotable lines. I can't deny him on that.
Yeah, that's true. And then, to be fair, in some ways,
just because I didn't like where his character went doesn't mean he doesn't have any quotable lines.
Fair enough. Fair enough. To be fair, I probably sometimes agree with that. And Space says the dead haircut. No, too early to happen. Let's see exactly.
Well, Shiki was able to avoid that fate, thankfully.
Who avoided that?
Shiki from Eden Zero.
Ah, okay. Oh yeah. Yes. Let's see if I heard can. Yes, the Naruto haircut. I was also alluding to Ichigo as well. Though granted, he got a bit better with that health.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, between the two, I'll take Ichigo's haircut over Naruto's because I don't know what that was.
In action, Ichigo's hair actually doesn't look too bad. At least when he's in his Shinigami form, when he shows up in it.
Definitely.
Anyway, the narration reveals that they eased up on the dormitory requirements, and those that wanted to move back home were allowed to do so. So, I guess with the League of Villains threat now permanently gone, they don't have to worry about their students being attacked again.
Oh boy!
So anyway, where I believe Suyu is explaining, or at least some of the students. Let's see. Well, I think it's Suyu saying Uraka said she's heading back home for a bit, but she's worried that hasn't read her latest text. As we get a flashback to the news guys from we're taking care of Uraka, them saying the new cameraman saying crap, with the news anchor going what's wrong, saying that they messed up big time in a rush to get up here in the chopper. They didn't realize that the camera battery is dead. With Uruka realizing that that day there was no camera there to capture the end of their battle.
Did you just say Uruka?
Uraka.
That's what I thought.
Sorry. Which saying that day there was no camera there to capture the end of their battle. So I think so. In other words, probably the bit where Uraka was talking to I assume Toga.
Yes.
With then Uraraka thinking the seascape's looking back to normal already. With her remembering what she said earlier in the day. About things looking like taking a positive turn. But she herself feels like nothing has gotten better ever since then. And it's like the sun is setting and the shadows are growing long. And going on about how, unlike all those times, everything's settled and saying that's a good thing. And the world's facing its problems and bringing it all back. And she loves the fact everyone's smiling, but she's thinking back to what's gone down like from all those times before. But then you start seeing her getting a bit teary-eyed. And she says that she doesn't really want to be a party pooper. And we've got a comment here from a Kisagari Hinasuki saying, I'm new here, so do you guys mostly talk about My Hero Academia stuff? Hello, Kurosaki Hinsuke. We discuss a variety of things on my channel. Normally My Hero Academia, sometimes One Piece, though granted that's me more solo. Sometimes, well, mostly me solo, though sometimes like she joins and Star Wars related things. And with
Depending
MangaReader,
on the topic, yeah.
Let's see, with MangaReader, I tend to talk Record of Ragnarok. And
which we haven't in forever, but that's because I haven't been reading.
yeah, so you need to catch up. Let's see, MangaReader.
How dare you!
Because we're about, in round 10 now, and we haven't done round 9.
But all right, fine. I'll get to it.
Okay, but fine. No pressure. Take your time. And also, we occasionally discuss Naruto with Farad Khan saying hi. They discuss many manga to Kakashi. So yeah, we talk about variety of things, and sometimes we even talk about movies.
Shoot, even on like my channel, like when these guys come on my channel, it's usually just podcasts, or if they catch me doing a live stream, then they'll pop up there. Mainly Blue, but
yeah, sometimes I join Lucky Chief for a live stream. Like the last one I did was like the live action trailer for One Piece.
That was fun.
Let's see, with Kurosaki Hinasuke saying, yeah, I love anime stuff. And we still yet need to review the first season of live action. I think we're just waiting for chat. Ooh, space is going like, But anyway, Uraraka starts thinking back to like Toga smiling and crying. And she's thinking, that's why, like just before, I'm dealing with this lasting pain by shutting it all away. As you start to see Uraraka crying, the fact that Toga is now dead. With Space saying, I'm going to wait for you guys to finish this chapter. Fair enough. But we're just about nearly done.
I love that comment.
But yeah, as Uraraka is crying a bit, we see a footprint coming in, and it's none other than Midoriya, as Uraraka looks on, tear crying, as Midoriya shouts his name, seemingly have used his quirk, ending this chapter. Now, finally, we can give our thoughts.
I thought it was going to be a villain that showed up.
So, guys, overall thoughts in this chapter.
Okay, I'll start first. I'm disappointed that the foot wasn't a villain.
It wasn't a villain getting on. You knew it wasn't going to be a villain going.
Of course not. I'm making a joke, obviously.
Kurosaki says, I cried when I saw Bakugo die as his heart exploded. Gladly, Edge Shot healed his heart. Arguably, yes, though. We'll get to that.
And he's alive. So,
yeah.
Props for I said Dead Shot. Sorry. That's DC. That's DC. My bad.
Let's see it.
Yeah, that is DC.
Yeah. Space saying, I noticed something. Ochoko's emotions come out when she feels regret. And in 242, we see Izuku hold his emotions when he talks about his regrets. It really shows the difference between them. I didn't really notice that. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, sorry. Your overall thoughts.
Okay. Aside from the whole situation with Edge Shot, saying it correctly this time, this was a good chapter.
Yeah, arguably, yes. This was a pretty decent chapter, a pretty good setup, which was arguably going to be the conclusion of Midoriya and Ochaku. But yeah, Arguably, but yeah.
Someone's celebrating.
Let's see. Space.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have my door closed and people are still. Yeah, I don't know how.
No, the timing of that was funny. He's talking about he's going, I'm like, dang, someone's excited about the ship.
Let's see. Space this chapter, and for Khan saying, honestly, 10 out of 10. First of all, I actually like how Izuoka's able to tell IzuOcha has something that she's hiding, plus Edshot being alive in chibi form is actually cool, but he already played it safe. Okay, that's probably the one bit we have to disagree with you, Third Khan, but yeah. Arguably, yeah. Like we probably ranted a little bit earlier in the summary. For me, Edshot is pretty much the weakest part of this chapter, and it's arguably cut off a few points for me of like scoring this chapter, I will admit.
So let me ask you this: what would you score it?
At best, an 8 out of 10. At worst, a 7 out of 10.
Okay, we're not too far off.
So yeah, I might let's see overall score it as a 7.5 out of 10. Let's see, but yeah, I do like how we get a bit more of a content with like the students just being huge admirers of Midoriya. Let's see, of Midoriya saying that let's see, the students being admirers of like let's see, Bakugo, Todoroki, and even Midoriya, though granted his fans are a bit more smaller and minor compared to Bakugo and Shoto, who have always been more popular in verse, though arguably Midoriya is just as popular as the other two out verse with the fandom, since those three always use up to scoring in the top 3 spots in the popularity polls. But I do like but yeah. But I do like how you get Shinshu being like, okay, shouldn't Bakugo want the attention of all these fangirls? With Midoriya explaining, which pretty much I think we all guessed, inverse. Girls are smart enough to stay away from Bakugo.
Thank the heavens.
And I will admit, Mineta had the best line. Yeah.
Hey,
yes.
and I say that as someone who likes Bakugo, okay? I say that as someone who likes
Yeah, honestly, Bakugo is one of those characters you wouldn't really want to have anyone seriously shipped with him.
I mean, okay, look, if there's one girl I think that could probably handle him, it's probably Cammy. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
she's the only one I could see that can handle his destructiveness. Only her.
Yeah. Also, she seems to find him like cute, but yeah. Space says, of course, Izuku could tell that Ochako was holding her emotions. I mean, Dooku always holds his emotions for so long, especially in the Dark Hero arc. True. And it says Izuku probably doesn't want people to look up to him because Izuku probably sees himself as a murderer.
Well, I mean, given the state he was in, especially back then, I don't blame him.
I'm not sure if it's a murderer. Just maybe he doesn't feel himself as quite as worthy as like All Might yet. I mean, that's usually, let's see, like I think Midoriya's biggest problem is that he just puts All Might in a pedestal. He doesn't always feel like he's like that high up there.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? And I do know that Koei, one of his favorite superheroes is Spider-Man. So I do kind of wonder if he's emulating Peter and Deku.
With the guilt trip thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because let's be fair, Peter does that a lot. He does.
Guilting?
Third Khan says he feels he's failed. No, I think Midoriya is lucky he does not have a J. Jonah Jameson.
I would pay to see that, actually. That'd be funny as hell.
Deku is a menace! I want pictures of Deku!
Well, there you go. Blue is J. Jonah Jameson of the My Hero verse.
Lucky Cheese, shut up and let me review this chapter! No, I'm joking. Let's see. Space says, Izuku's always had a low self-worth and believing he didn't save Toma probably isn't helping his self-worth. Probably.
Exactly.
Let's see. Makes sense he actually likes Sarah Hinata.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's referring to Shinsu talking with Sarah, but yeah. But anyway, but yeah. I will admit, I like that Minato probably had to me the best line about the bad boys, so.
And that's a rare case with him.
Yeah. Because Minato usually, whenever it comes out of his mouth, it's like, let's see. I want to throw you in a cell.
I mean, okay, let's be fair. Mineta did have like that one cool moment during like one of the training exams before they went to the.
You mean when he fought against Midnight?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was arguably cool. But anyway, I do like that you also like how you got the members of the Class 2A helping out with the construction, and even get like the citizens helping out, and even their juniors helping out. So that was nice. But like we've been saying, I do like how Midoriya and to some extent Suya realize something's up with Uraraka. I do like how Suya's like texting Uraraka. But I also like seeing that Uraraka's still feeling the weight of like how Toga's fight and Toga died and how and still feels guilty about that. And also the fact that I think the world didn't get to see the end of their fight, just to see Toga, I guess, ending for the better, I guess, if you will. Giving up that fight. So arguably you're probably going to get some people still viewing Toga as a demon, particularly her parents, but then again, her parents aren't exactly the best. Oh, you got Space saying here saying, I feel like the Japan fandom is probably taking the villains' endings better than the American fandom, due to the Japanese fandom seems to dislike the villains. Huh.
I mean, that would explain why the Meta Liberation Army arc ended up the way it did in the anime. Specifically for that reason.
I guess. Though I thought some people thought they swapped it around to promote the films.
Well, okay, it was that, but because of like the big spotlight on like the villains, from what I know, yeah, Japan does not have a huge liking to like, antagonists.
I guess it does. I guess it goes to show you there are some very cultural differences between Western fans and Japan fans.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, because I do. Here's the thing: for Koei to go that direction with the Meta Liberation Army, that was a pretty ballsy move. But I think it worked out for the manga.
Arguably, yes, but we'll get to that later. But we've got some more comments with like Fred Khan saying, even against Giga Machina, Mineta had a moment. True.
Good point.
Let's see, Kirizaki Hinasuke saying, so since Diko lost one for all, will he continue being a hero or no?
I'm not going to comment on that.
That will be for the final. Yeah, we're commenting on that for the final chapter when it's officially translated. As
which I don't care.
Yeah, and Space is saying here you can see it with the popularity polls. I guess I'm not sure. Let's see if we should always rely on the popularity polls, since they can sometimes cause some bad things. But arguably, yes, none of the villains in My Hero Academia ever really make the top popularity polls compared to some of the more other shonen series, like I guess the big three, because you had quite a few of the antagonists in the top 10. With Fred Khan saying, yeah, that last chapter. Anyway, but yeah. Let's see. So where are we? Ah, yes, the popularity of like cultural differences. So yeah. Yeah, I do like it. Let's see, where I was like, oh yeah, Uraraka, let's see, feeling the weight of like, let's see, Toga's death. And I do like that Midoriya is there to show up to arguably finally have that long-awaited talk that we've all been waiting for. I know, Margarita, what did you like? Let's see, anything you have to comment on what you liked about and disliked about the chapter? Because I think it's mostly just been me and Lucky cheered this bit. What are your thoughts?
Well, of course, because I'm not going to interrupt you. You get pissed when I interrupt you. You get mad.
Not always.
Oh, not always.
Happens every now and then during the streams.
I don't know. I'm trying to. I mean, I'm sure you guys covered everything. I don't really even know if I could even offer anything more to it. And that's not saying that I don't have an opinion on it.
It's just that it's very similar to what we're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's an epilogue. We're basically this is 2 chapters away from the end. When we do the next chapter, it'll be 1 chapter away from the end. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Toga really. The only thing I could comment on, I don't really know if Toga did anything worthy of being redemption, but whatever. I mean, she outside of giving her life to Ochaku, but I mean, I don't know if that's a redemption anyway.
But I was gonna say it's a very similar case of Shigaraki too, where I know Deku wanted to do everything he could to save him, but given with what he's been through in life and the direction he went in, that was obviously going to be tough.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Space says, I can imagine Izuku feeling guilty because he couldn't save Tenko. It's like Spider-Man becoming sad after Green Goblin's death in the films. Speaking of that, I did actually watch Spider-Man today in the cinema. Give me. With Kizagi Hikanasaki saying, I was expecting Deku to save Tenko completely, but sadly Deku failed to do so. With Space saying, Toga didn't really redeem herself, saying that Toga kind of sticks to her guns until the end. You got a point. In the very least, she sacrificed herself to save the 2 people she loved, which ended up being Uraraka.
Mm-hmm.
So, arguably, you're probably right, MangaReader, that Toga didn't really get a redemption. And arguably, it's probably best not to throw that word around so casually. So,
redemption is not a way to throw it around so easily. What are you talking about?
Right?
It's just like many people talking about the redemption trope. That's how it seems to be like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, we can sit here and analyze that, her life was shit and she chose the path that she did anyway, but no one told her to go out and kill people, essentially.
Yeah,
so
no one told her to do that.
That is true.
Again, society, broken society, yada, yada. I mean, you can say what you want. Maybe it wasn't all her fault in the sense, but she's in charge of herself, so whatever. It's a gray area if you really want to be super optimistic about it.
Let's see. Space says, I was predicting Izuku wouldn't save Tenko already. And redemption is for characters like Ariyama and Endeavor. People are trying to atone for their sins. I also add Lucky Cheese Boy Gentle.
I don't even know if he really... His is a different case entirely.
Yeah, I was going to say Gentle was more so like an accidental. It's not like he purposefully did what he did.
So, Space says, there's a difference between tragic villains and redemption villains. That is true.
Yes.
But though sometimes it can be intertwined in some cases, but yeah. So, anyway, overall, what do you guys give this as a score for this chapter? Sorry.
Wait, yeah, Munger, you go ahead and go first. I'll go last.
Oh, for me? Fine. Score-wise... on the fence between 7 and 8. I don't know. I mean, I'll say in between there then 7.5.
Yeah, I also probably give it 7.5, as I already said earlier. And what about you, Lucky Chi?
Probably go with great. So that goes to an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Why don't you just say that at this point? No one understands your system.
And see, Lucky Chi likes giving his score the way he does.
Lucky Chi likes being different. Raver.
Kurosaki says, not gonna lie, but I love when some villains turn good, like Toga, Gentle Criminal, Brava. I'm guessing Kurogiri. I don't mind it. And in fact, sometimes I kind of like when some villains are reformed, like Gaara, but I do think you need to be limited on how many times you do it. Because if you do it with every villain, it gets a bit tedious and repetitive. Anyway, Space says tragic villains are just the League. Redemption villains are like Gentle and Lady Naga, I guess.
Lady Naga's a good example.
Yeah. And Farad Khan says Kurogiri was good in the end, but he didn't. But he did it due to the ties of both sides of the war. Let's see. And Space saying Toga didn't really turn good. Arguably, yeah. let's see, we've probably discussed it now. So yeah. So arguably around 7.5 to 8 out of 10, depending on how you feel. Let's see on this chapter. So yeah. So
And maybe someone out there thinks it's a solid 10 for some reason. I don't know.
Well, it might have been a 9 out of 10, if not for that edge shot stuff.
I was gonna go amazing plus, but then I really thought about it, and I was like, all right, no, it doesn't quite hit there. So
okay.
Let's see. Space says around 8 out of 10. Let's see, and Farad Khan, yeah, that was referring to him like giving it a 10 out of 10 earlier. Anyway, let's see. So everyone's given their score. It's now time to go on My Hero Academia chapter. Let's see, 429, which this one is titled "I Am Here," which reminds me, I forgot to the title of the last chapter, which is like the girl who loves smiles. But yeah. But now we are on chapter 429. The I Am Here. But anyway, we before we get into that chapter, we've got oh yeah, Space says when this chapter first came out, people were debating if let's see, Toga was alive or dead. And Kuro Hinosaki saying Space. Also, tragic villains are basically people who are made as a villain, while redemption villains are just heroes who become villains out of nowhere. I'm not sure.
I was gonna. No, actually, I can't even say that.
I'm shocked we didn't really even see her die. She just died off screen. I mean, we know that she was giving her blood, but damn, we didn't even see anything.
No, we didn't.
So yeah, let's see. It seems like inverse the camera just cut off.
Basically, because we didn't even see a tracker revive.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway, to respond to Kurosaki and Asuka saying tragic villains are basically people who are made as a villain, while redemption villains are just heroes who become a villain out of nowhere. Yeah, I would not really agree with that statement because you have characters like Gara, let's see, existing, and he was like a villain at first. But with Space saying Kisagari, I disagree with that. Redemption villains are that. Yeah, I have to agree with that. And redemption villains are villains like Gara, so it seems Space agrees with me there. But anyway, enough of that. I'm just about to get into the My Hero Academia double-colored spread where you see the members of Class 1A wearing black and green suits, or at least black
2A blue, 2A.
2A with, yeah, black with like black suits or jackets with green shirts and ties or dresses, depending on their sex or gender, if you will. And you pretty much also along with All Might and Ayazara, they're all smiling. They're seemingly looking a bit older. You got, let's see, I do like how we got All Might just patting Midoriya's head, with Midoriya just getting like having his hands up. Let's see, some of the other students are, I think they're all counting down to like some numbers.
I mean, if you notice Deku's hands, it has 10 on it, which that's significant given that it's the 10th year anniversary.
Oh yeah, so it's like 10 years. So I think they're doing all kinds of, let's see, 10 signs from what I can tell. Like doing like the one finger and the 0.
We got a very passionate green tea shipper here, guys, in the background.
I don't know why my microphones can pick that up, but I'm sorry. It works, but it's like, oh my god.
Let's see, special. Yep, 10th anniversary. Anyway, also we got Invisible Girl fully seen here, so it's like she's smiling, and you got some of the members of Class 2A looking a bit surprised. Oh yeah, you also have, I believe, Ayama. Let's see, also with Class 2A.
I love Tokoyami's expression. He's just like, I'm so cluttered here. This is not cool. My reaction's kind of funny from his.
Tokoyami. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's funny. Oh, you got Tailman around Shinso, who doesn't seem entirely thrilled about that. I do like how you got Ashido just looking down on. Let's see, I just forgot. I remember. I forgot his name quickly.
Which one?
Can't stop twerking.
Aoyama?
Yeah, Ayama. There we go. And she's just looking down. Ah, look who's here, kind of situation. So yeah, but this cover is just pretty much celebrating the 10th anniversary.
Also, there's Bakugo's expression too. He just has that like, boy, if you don't move that hand, I'm about to blow it up.
See, Deku's got that Ryu Ozaka from Devil Crybaby haircut emo. I have no idea what that is. Space says, crazy that the manga ended on its 10th anniversary. Well, I guess mangakas tend to try and end it on the 5, 10, or 15-year anniversary, or even 20th, depending on how long they're going.
Yeah, let me think. I mean, let's see. The other manga that ended with Eden Zero, that was on its 6th-year anniversary. So, yeah.
Let's see. Kirosaki is actually saying, I know, right? Space, can't believe it ended on the 20th anniversary. And Space saying, you mean 10th anniversary? Yeah, I think that's what he meant. But, let's see.
Shoot, 20th anniversary. I don't even know where we'd be at by that point.
Yeah, let's see. Third Khan saying, this manga started in the same year as Naruto ended. Wow, time flies.
I know. I mean, especially, I'll say this for me. On that subject, I got into this like just as the story was about to wrap up. So it goes to show you where I was.
Fair enough. Let's see. Kurosaki saying 10th year is my stupid autocorrect. That's fine. Yeah, everything's fine. But yeah, it's a nice little cover thing. Arguably, it seems to be. Let's see. I can't tell if it was trying to be a little bit of that Shonen Jump cover thing a bit, but I could be wrong there. But anyway, it's time to actually now cover the actual chapter.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Space. I'll just do this one comment from Space saying, it's funny how My Hero Academia replaced Naruto's role after it ended. Which, arguably, yes, because in some ways I do feel like Jump tried to keep Naruto going with Boruto because they didn't know if they would get a replacement. But I think many people ended up just considering My Hero Academia to be the natural successor for Naruto.
Well, you also have to consider this. Koei was like a big Naruto fan growing up. So
yeah,
there's that.
Yeah, that is true. But anyway, the chapter, I Am Here. We get someone narrating about how they heard about how his quirk was that of a freak variant, unrelated to any members of his family throughout their bloodline history, if you will. And as a result, his mother, father, sister, uncle, aunt, grandma, and grandpa, and great-grandpa all stopped being nice to him because of his quirk was, was different. So they apparently tied and locked him up in the basement. And he was so scared and sad, he started crying and screaming. And that got so bad that so they ended up sewing his mouth just to shut him up and just from opening it too wide, which is like, dang, these gotta be like, this is even worse family than all the ones that we've seen so far in the series. But yeah, it doesn't know how many years have went by, but one day they told me that the country's doomed. And the town apparently tossed a bunch of water and baked goods at him, and he never really saw them again after that. And after some time had passed, and a big crash happened, it Ritzy allowed an opening for him to leave the basement. And just like that, he was free to go outside. As we see him walking and saying the sunlight was painful and scary, because he wasn't really used to it. And what he had done, wondering what he did wrong, saying, why do you have to feel so sad? Thinking about all this time, I've been so scared and sad. And then we see that it's none other than that mysterious figure that was walking in the film, the previous epilogue chapters. And he's going like, so why are these people smiling so much as he sees quite a lot of the people reconstructing, not realizing the context. They're all just happy to be alive. Let's see, Fred Khan saying, I feel like Black Clover is more of a spiritual successor to Naruto, but yeah. Black Clover is a mix, I would say, of Bleach and Naruto, but...
Yeah. Also, just wanted to mention this. Do you notice what they're passing now to the civilians? Green tea. So, have fun with that.
Oh, I see what you're doing there, Corey. But, yeah.
Here's the thing. I didn't even notice that until somebody pointed out. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that's not even being subtle.
Yeah. But anyway, you got people just being happy and passing it out. Let's see, as Space says, yeah, this guy's just a kid. So, as you've got this kid asking why people are smiling so much, you now cut to Araka thinking about how she always used to love seeing people smile. And that's why she set out to be a hero. Thinking back to what Toga said about how, Toga saying, Ochako, you could have just done the right thing like any old plain hero, and yet you went above and beyond to spare a thought for her. As you start to see Uraka remembering Toga, she's crying, thinking about how he got to live on at the cost of her life. So this confirms that Toga did indeed die, and she's crying that it's her fault that she's. You get Midoriya then using more of his quirk to run towards Uraka, saying his name. Let's see, she gets embarrassed and starts covering her face, saying, Deku! Asking why he's here and how did he do it, and how did he know? How did she know? With Midoriya saying, I just knew somehow, and leapt over here with one for all, and saying that because of this spot is where they had their heart to heart. With her going like, no, that's what I mean, saying that she was heading for home for now. With Midoriya saying that would have been fine with him, but he had a feeling you'd be here. And she's wondering why come when I don't feel like being seen. Midoriya apologizing, but you want to show me what you're going through, and saying because Uraka, you've always been this way. Thinking back to when I think Uraka said you're going to sort out with your hair a chapter or two ago or something. Thinking about how even back during the entrance exam, with Midoriya remembering the first time they met and stopping him from falling from the trip, and then Midoriya going and with those points to pass, was then remembering offering to give Deku some points. With Midoriya going all along without fail, with Midoriya then remembering when Uraka just said, I like the name Deku. With Midoriya saying you prioritize others over yourself. It's like thinking back to the sports festival. And every time I can't recall what this last flashback image is. I think it's just a regular training they had. With Midoriya saying since way back, as you get Uraka crying, and then Uraka the other two times when Uraka helped Midoriya by trying to get him to calm down when his 6 quirks started activating, and then giving that big speech to all the residents in UA to let Deku come in, as you would see her crying a bit more, with Midoriya saying, you're my hero, saying, which is why I can't keep taking that strength of yours for granted, and telling her to holding a hand can be enough to soothe the pain. We got Third Can saying, that's from the sports festival. Oh, okay, my bad. Let's see, referring to the thumbs up bit, I believe. And Uraka's crying still, but I think not for the same reason she was before. With Uraka saying when heroes need protecting, with her revealing to Midoriya that Himiko, it's my fault she's dead, and saying if only I didn't get stabbed, if only my head wasn't full of pointless thoughts, because her quirk let her share her blood with others. But if I didn't have to end like that, I bet I could have found another way. Thinking if only I'd figured her out sooner. Maybe she would have gone different if we'd met as little kids. As I think we did get a little image flashback about that. Space saying, I love Ochako being one of Izuku's heroes. I really do. Yeah, I believe we all do. As you got Uraka's, now box from earlier saying, when heroes need protecting, who will be there to protect them? As Midoriya says, I get the same things being weighing on me about Tenko, about Soma Shigaraki, and saying, I was told that I couldn't tackle the bat the same way as all the others. all for one himself said that's a path I chose was a thorny one. We got Varad Khan saying, agreed, Space. But he goes like, even so, I know if we keep going above and beyond and reaching out, even when no one's asking, now it'll still make a difference of it all. So yeah. And then you get Darkshaw appearing up, and you should see the other members of Class 2A realize that this is where she here is, and saying that they're all here for her. Let's see, particularly Ciro's going like, Achako, you silly head, giving her the biggest hug, because Ciro has always been like this, and saying that they were waiting for you to open up to her, and you can say whatever's in your mind. As Midoriya starts to feel more of the embers of One for All disappearing, but he's okay with this. With Bakugo now saying, that was a big burst you used to get here. How's the Ember doing? With Midoriya saying it's fine. This shocks the members of Class A, saying, wait, Embers, does that mean that they all realize what it is? And they all start going towards, let's see, Midoriya. Some of them are like crying, like Mineta and Ashida. I think Mineta's also punching Midoriya in the stomach. But you also got like Ida and Shoto coming to show concern, showing that, let's see, they're all kind of sad at the idea of Midoriya losing the quirk. With Midoriya saying that he completed One for All, and that amalgamation of power was woven together by the courage of heroism. As you get, I believe, members of Class 1B all celebrating, particularly, let's see, the copycat one, Momoma, just laughing at the fact that he's got a statue, seemingly some honor student thing. And this is probably going to be your favorite bit of mini panel in the chapter with Jiro singing with Eri-chan, Lucky Chi.
I mean, look, it's fitting for her character, so yeah. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. And you've got Yayo Momo, you see clapping, seemingly celebrating a party or birthday, which I assume is probably Aries. Let's see.
How much you want to bet that they're singing Hero 2?
No, my mistake. It's Farewell Oyama. Sorry, what was the bet, Lucky Chi?
I said, how much do you guys want to bet that they're singing Hero 2, the song that Jiro sang during the festival?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it is like that.
Right.
But anyway, they're celebrating Ayama's farewell party, with Midoriya saying, going forward, as long as everyone contributes to the weaving. But that bit will be continued later. We're then cutting to like a building where we get like let's see, you get two people discussing about broadening the scope of billboard charts, you say, and saying that's one part of his plan, but only once the country is on its feet again. Let's see, with the other saying, it's pretty clear that plenty of folks besides us pro-heroes played a huge role in the war. And it's none of it revealed to be All Might and Red Hawks discussing it, but the two quirkless heroes now saying, which is why we should be giving props to heroes in the original sense of the word and not just currently employed professional capital H heroes. Let's see, Endeavor says, I thought you might want to lean away from the whole popularity contest altogether. With Hawk saying, that makes sense if you're only seeing the cons on the system and not of the pros. But he's talking about an update that doesn't toss the baby out of the bath water, arguably thinking about, let's see, Endeavor. With them going like, with Hawk saying, but because even the greatest of all time can only handle so much, and they're hoping to save the more folks, these saviors got to include more than just us pros. With All Might saying, I see, in that in hopes of cultivating any number of great heroes, with him going like, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we cut to like the new. Sorry, let me just drink quickly.
You okay?
Yeah, I think I just talked too much without getting a drink.
See, kids, this is why having your drinks are important. Especially when you're doing
best to, let's see, hydrate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Space saying Happy Aerie isn't trying to be a hero. She doesn't need any more trauma. True. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. The new Shigaraki going like, why? Why just me? as you see, I believe, one family of like a human and some sort of I don't know what that is.
I'm assuming his parents.
Well, yeah, parents, but I'm just wondering like who Quirk dude. Let's see who that Quirk mouth thing. But if it is his parents, ooh, or it might just be just random citizens. But
I think the random citizens definitely look like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is the same. This is the guy that started off the epilogue. This random guy.
Okay. But anyway,
This is that guy. I mean, what do you mean? Okay. This is the one person that was thinking that this was the villain that was going to be in this epilogue, but no.
Malcolm, I think you're confused. I'm talking about like what appears to be the father of the pregnant woman there.
Okay.
The little extra is what he's referring to, not the character.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, what is this guy? But anyway, but the new Tomura Shigaraki, or the potential ones, like, why did I suffer? And seemingly doing something with his quirk blogs. Let's see, with like blood with his quirk. And this is where the old lady that once ignored Shelter going like, "You there, boy?" Grabbing his hand this time. He looks on. She gets nervous, thinking back to Shoto, but realizes that not to do the same mistake as again. As she still wonders whether or not a hero helped that little boy after she walked away. And thinking that now keeps her up at night, because arguably if she actually did, let's see, help Shigaraki that day, you might have never got a Tomura Shigaraki.
Oh yeah, no, Tenko would have turned out a lot differently if that happened.
Oh yeah.
Would be interesting, not gonna lie.
Yeah. A sort of what if you will, but yeah. But it's revealed that after that day with Midoriya demonstrated to society that we need each other to support, and thinking that sitting back is no longer an option, as Midoriya has taught them. So he now knows that what they did hit home with society, and I bet that someday soon, as I think you get a bunch of heroes looking on to what the old lady is doing, I believe. As she also remembers when watching.
Oh no, that's Ochiko and Deku. They're the ones looking.
Oh, they're looking. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah, like if you know the outfits, yeah, that's definitely Deku and Ochiko.
My mistake. I didn't notice that at first. Going like, you should be just fine because Granny's here to help. And this seemingly the new Tomo Shigaraki deactivates his quirk and starts crying at someone's out looking for him. Edith says, "Hey, is this all well with you two?" With let's see, I think Hawk's finishing about heroes will have time to kill as you got Midoriya and Uraraka seemingly apparently going to run to that kid, but realize that the old lady's helping the boy out, and now just smiling. As we get, I believe, some burnt candles for like I usually see, I think you go to a grave, being the last panel of this chapter, ending the chapter. So, guys, overall, what are your thoughts?
I think that the friends should have stayed back a little bit. That's my only gripe. I'll be real. That's the one part I was like, you could have waited just a little bit longer. That was my thing. But
you're thinking they're about to kiss, damn it.
No, okay. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, maybe you were expecting a kiss. I was just saying, let them just have the moment and just talk it out.
Anyway, we just got a bunch of comments saying, let's see, Space saying, hope that the hero rank, hope that keeping the hero rankings doesn't create another endeavor. Arguably true.
I mean, with Hawks at the helm, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Space saying, if the old lady did help Tenko, then all for one would probably give up on Tenko and decide to make someone else the next him. That is true. Though whether or not he would have had someone else destructive, let's see, Shigaraki remains.
What if he went after Deku?
Could have been possible. Let's see. I'm not sure how that would have worked, but arguably it could be possible Midoriya could become like an evil version like that. Ooh, let's see. Third con says, Granny saves the day. Big Mama's house free. Okay. Let's see. Third content. IzuOcha confirmed until proven otherwise. And Space saying, finally the civilians are helping others and not just having the heroes do everything. So yeah, I think this is where we'll get. Let's see. So yeah, back to overall thoughts.
Yes. I mean, I guess since I kind of started, I might as well just continue on. Okay, so with the little bottles of green tea and just their conversation, and especially that last shot, that pretty much just solidifies, IzuOcha's canon.
So you believe they are canon now?
I'd say it's implied, but
Okay.
What about you?
That's it. I'm going to let MangaReader go first for a change.
Oh, well, surprising. That must mean you have something interesting to say. Maybe. I don't know. You wonder. It turns out we're all getting hyped up, and it's just Blue doing his Blue thing.
For real.
I mean, I don't know. Trying not to let certain biasness get in the way of this. I don't want to go about this because I don't want to be overly negative because it's not necessarily a bad chapter. But
mind.
I will speak my mind, but I don't know how I want to do. Oh, the pros are this, the cons are that. I don't know if I want to do it like that, but
okay. Let's start it like this. You start with the negatives, and then work your way to the positives.
Start with the negatives, and everyone work their way to the positives.
Well, because that's what I did. I just talked about
right,
and I just went the other direction.
That's true. Yeah. Well, my biggest gripe with the chapter, obviously, is again this whole toga thing, and I really don't think. I just don't think that it needed to be like this per se. I get you don't want it like this. My Hero Academia has always had like this gray area in terms of offing off their villains in the sense because it seems like some heroes don't necessarily have a problem with putting down villains. Like All Might didn't have a problem, at least seemingly, putting down One for All or All for One, in his opinion, anyway. Like he didn't seem to have a problem, like killing him in his own mind, even though he didn't end up killing him and whatnot. But so it's fine. I don't really care if the new generation is kind of like trying to kill or not kill, and there's nothing wrong with again the gray area there. But just the idea again that Toga, in none of her appearances until that last, her giving up her blood to save Ochaku, did nothing noteworthy to be considered someone savable, I guess is a good way of putting it there. And Ochaku just getting overly emotional about it to me just seems kind of, it's not out of character, but just the idea of it seems crazy to me that you could be like, well, if only I'd known sooner, just like with Deku. It's like, again, Tenko, you can't change someone who they are once they establish themselves like that. I mean, I get the idea is supposed to be helpful and whatnot, but I don't know. That's my big gripes on this. Anyone's feel and I'm not just leaving this to comments. I mean, anyone's free to feel how they feel otherwise. But
I'm not entirely sure I agree with the idea that once people have set their minds, they can't change, because I think people are always changing all the time, sometimes for the better and sometimes for worse. Or sometimes the worse then get better, but okay.
yeah, all right then. No, like I said, you're free to you believe whatever your thought process on that is. I mean, sure, could she have changed? I don't know, but there was nothing that she did, in my opinion, that warranted the belief that she would have did anything. But again, whatever. I do kind of like the trying to end the cycle, albeit, I mean, it's a nice turn of events to see something that didn't work the first time in Tenko is possibly playing out. Maybe it's a little too convenient that Oshaku and Deku are right there to witness it, but what do I care? It's a nice little change of pace to see something look like growth is being made from this situation. Everything else to me is kind of just filler in between. So nice little callback to how the two of them, Deku and Ochaku, Izuku and Ochaku, since I keep calling him by his hero name instead of his regular name, Midoriya. Uraraka. That's a nice little change of pace to know that they've clearly grown as the way that they have. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, before I give my thoughts, I'm just going to read out some of the comments that have been said so far. Third Con says, out of 10, I am more mixed on this point. See, I agree with Chi about the friends interrupting. On the other hand, I feel like this wrapped up the importance of family of sorts, and them kissing would be bad. Space says, also, Izuku and Midoriya isn't canon. Laughing. Giving it a 9 out of 10. Space saying, I don't think Izuku or Choco canons, especially because of 430. Space saying, then, let's see, Third Con saying, Space, you're stabbing me in the heart. Also, yeah, logically speaking, there's no other possibility of them end up with anyone other than each other. With Space saying, I never did care for Izuku and Exo Choco becoming canon. I just didn't want Midoriya and Bakugo to happen. With Third Con saying 430 is better than 700 at least, mostly because it was, And let's see, Third Con saying agree with Space and Izubaka, and Space going like, so is he comparing it to the end of Naruto, which is done better? With him saying, with Third Con saying this definitely, with Space saying filler. You don't know what filler is then. Anyway, well, that having their little debate there. I'm going to now give up my thoughts on this chapter. Now, there might be some... Let's see. Now, arguably, I can understand how MangaReader can sort of, react to, like, Uraraka Bitty, thinking that might be a bit overkill with Uraraka, but I think, given the fact that these two have a bit of a history together, I can understand why Uraraka is probably crying a bit. And sorry, what was the second half thing you were saying again? I was just too busy reading the comments. I kind of forgot a little bit what you said at the end.
Huh? What did I say?
Yeah, what was that last bit you said at the end before I was reading all the comments?
About their growth?
Yeah. I know.
I mean, I like that callback. I mean, obviously it had to happen at some point from how they started versus where they are now.
Yeah, I like that. So, yeah, you're right. Sorry, my bad. So, yeah. Anyway, getting to like the bits of the like. I do like how we've got the. Let's see, we pretty much got on the entire. We've got the idea of like this new potential Tomura Shigaraki where in some ways, he's got even worse treatment than Shigaraki did from his father, and even how Darby or Shoto got from their father, or just family in general, because like they all locked him up in a cell because he had a different quirk, and then sewed his mouth when he tried to plead for them to not do that. That is messed up, man. That's like one of the most.
It is crazy.
That is like one of those most messed up like news stories you get on the papers now and then. Which I'm not sure if Koei's reading some newspapers to get ideas for this, but yeah. But either way, he's broken out and about and ready to do some damage because he's just like, why is everyone happy but I'm not? Not realizing the contents. But I do really love that you got the same old lady that refused to help Bakugo, learn from her lesson, and decided to, this time. Hold on a sec. This time, reach out her hand and help this little boy before he loses his cool. Thinking about showing that Midoriya's efforts did inspire the Hero Society, even if not any structurally, at least morally, and I guess even to some extent mentally, of like senior citizens, citizens in general trying to help out the more troubled young quirk users, or try and at least help lighten the load, if you will. So, yeah, all that stuff, that is very good. Oops, that TV turning off on there. Off. Let's see, Lucky Chi, I do like how he does like the green tea thing, so I do like that little reference, which I only just learned today. Midoriya, I will admit, I do like how he just talks about all the times Uraraka's been there for him and then saying, "You're my hero." I wondered, could this be considered a love confession?
You could equate it to one.
If only we didn't know the spoilers.
But yeah, in some ways it is a bit vague, but we're not getting to the spoilers of 430.
Clearly we're not.
But yeah. Space saying we can't forget that Choco only shoots Toga as a villain until the first war up to the final war, so of course Uraraka feels guilty for that. Fair enough. And Third Con says Q Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine. I have not read that. Space saying refuse to help Bakugo, you mean Tenko? With then Third Con going like, yeah, and probably. I shall believe it. And then Space back again saying, "Are you crying?" Is what? Also, the crying child is like Eri with their quirk being different from the family's quirk. I'm not sure what that's reference to, but it could be some Game of Thrones reference that I have not read in a while. So yeah. I do like the fact that you did have Midoriya saying that you're my hero, but arguably I probably would have done a kiss, like Lucky Chi said, would be my preference. Though granted, they did have that up and down. No, I'm thinking of Spider-Man there.
Koei probably is playing it way too safe.
Yeah, who knows? Arguably, perhaps I do wonder. What do you mean? Eri's quirk isn't from her family. What are you? What? I'm sorry. What do you mean by sorry, Space? What do you mean by whoops? Oh, they're having a little debate there. We're spacing. No, a kiss would be awful. They're talking about their guilt. That would have been screwed up.
Yeah, well, no. I'm not necessarily saying they should have kissed, but at the very least,
a bit more confirmation. If anything, you could have saved the kiss. Let's see, sometime after that, talk up on the roof. I don't know. Maybe as they're trying to help out that little hero boy, but then realize Granny's got it. You could have had, at the very least, Uraraka kissing Midoriya on the cheek. Even something like that.
Very Rebecca-like move.
Arguably. let's see. Okay, but yeah. I don't know. I would have probably liked them to confess their feelings, but I guess at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's not the best timing to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Choco is Izuku's hero, not Bakugo.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
To be honest, I don't know why people try to say that these two are serious ship. The only time they seriously interacted was the sports festival, and Bakugo just literally tried to destroy her, like he does with everyone. So it's like, why would they? It's like, why are people shipping this? It was very likely that Midoriya and Uraraka was going to be the main ship if it did or did not become canon.
I mean, going by Koei's words, he did state in the first volume, I have a lot of scenes planned between these two, so that's already a huge giveaway right there.
He lied to me.
You even got that promotional cover colored spread appearance where you had Midoriya and Uraraka falling down together.
He still lied to me.
Oh, but yeah. But yeah, I do like how you got Class 2A, just Gritty coming just to check on Uraraka because they're all worried. And I also like how they react when they learn that Midoriya has now got the Embers because arguably they all want Midoriya to still continue being a hero alongside them. But yeah. But I do like how Midoriya just tries to encourage Uraraka to just make a difference as you always do. So that bit is there. I also like the little montage you have of Eri singing at Yamamoto's farewell party. And I do like how you got All Might and Hawks discussing about how to handle the hero popularity thing because the popularity contest kind of made their heroes a bit complacent, or at the very least, trying to one-up each other, with Endeavor being the most extreme case. So if they can stop something like that from happening again, I think they would be fine. I mean, granted, I don't know exactly what they're trying to change for Hero Society, but either way, they're trying to do stuff. But yeah. And Uha has got some comments with Third Khan saying, nah, in the future, let it be a moment of a serious understanding. Space going who cares if Shoko and Izuka happens? People would say it would be forced anyway. With Third Khan saying Bakugo is his rival. It's mostly All Might and Ochako. With Space saying All Might is Child Izuku's hero and Uraraka is Teen Izuku's hero. That's nice. With Third Khan saying it'd be forced if it was done like Narahina at this moment, wouldn't have worked. But a slow romance burn with little hints, yeah, that would have. I'm going yeah, they're both heroes to him. Agreed at different stages. So, yeah. So, arguably, how would you guys score this chapter, I guess?
Mine might be the highest, and I say might. But I'll just lay it out flat. 9 out of 10.
I think I'll probably give it an 8.5. I was really going to give it a 7.5 because I felt like, did you really leave us too vague about, let's see, Midoriya and Izuku not becoming Midoriya and Uraraka becoming canon, and also missing opportunity to do a full-on love thing. But and given what some of the people have said in this chapter's context about, them kissing at that moment would have been bad. Though granted, I would have probably liked at least a kiss on the cheek at the end of the chapter, at least. But I can see what they're going through. I do also like the fact you got that granny learning from the mistakes of, with what happened with Tomoe Shigaraki. Now, let's see, and how would you score it, MangaReader?
Well, I was probably the most optimistic when going into this, as no one on here knows, but I posted multiple times the ending of 227 or 427 in both our Skype chat and our Discord following.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll admit I was disappointed based on how the quote ended for I was lied to. Or 428, I meant. This is 429. The ending for 428. Which
Yeah,
in Japan, it said the secret feelings.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When it came to me, I kept my expectations like super low, just because of like how.
You bastard! You would.
No, I'm just saying. That bridge has been burned for me too many times. So
I just don't get why you would leave it hanging, saying the secret feelings, and then nothing comes from it. And I understand. Again, grief, that makes sense, but that doesn't mean that it had to happen at the start. It could have happened. You could have made a slightly longer chapter, adding 4 more pages. My gosh.
You know what I think is going to happen, Manga Reader? All your complaints
it's going to be fixed
in the volume. Yeah.
It's going to all happen in the volume. See, I heard you this whole time.
Yeah, I would wouldn't mind at least maybe like a page or two, or maybe even a few panels, just let's see, saying that Midoriya and Uraraka at the very least boyfriend and girlfriend right now.
We don't even have that. We don't even know. Because funny enough, obviously all of it has come from Uraraka. We've never actually 100% ever heard Deku. Like, we've seen him blush and everything, but we've never actually outright heard him say his actual feelings for Uraraka. In all 429 chapters, we've never actually had pure confirmation about how he actually feels about her. I'm just saying. I'm pointing that out.
Yeah. I'm
leaving that bombshell. But
I'm just gonna read up some of the comments here. First by Space saying Izuku x Ochoko is already better than Naruto x Hinata.
Thanks. We knew that.
Yeah, we can probably at least agree to that. Let's see. Fad Khan says agreed. And going 8 out of 10 as score. And then Space saying, I feel like this chapter shouldn't lose points because of Izuku and Uchiko didn't happening. True.
Lose.
The chapter doesn't lose points for me because of that. It lowered points for me because it got cut off. That was my thing.
That is true for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't even given my score yet, by the way. And I haven't even said that would be the reason why it came. Okay. I'm just saying. Well, yeah.
Sorry, Margarita. Do you want to give your
No, you're good. I'll give it. I'll get you to the score in a minute, but it's just like,
Okay.
Just the whole thought process. It's like, we haven't actually heard.
Okay. Fred Khan says this is I can agree with to a certain extent at least. And then Space saying, I don't mind Izuku and Choco not ending up together and as friends anyway. And Space saying Hisoka Kashi probably couldn't add more pages due to jump. Fred Khan saying, I see I won't name anyone, but a person on Heaven and Earth believes how Naruto pairings happened, and the reaction to it is kind of made most markers avoid considering canonizing ships going forward.
I don't agree with that.
I can argue.
I was going to say,
you can argue that.
Yeah, you could argue it, but I don't agree with it because if that's the case, then how do you explain Demon Slayer?
Did it actually have it? Well, obviously, I didn't pay attention to Demon Slayer. But then again, what isn't
Demon Slayer had an epilogue where it had modern day Japan and all the descendants of certain characters, and particularly their ships.
Is Blue Star Saber's band on Black Clover still?
I read Black Clover.
Oh, do you?
Oh boy.
Oh no! Isn't Black Clover still going?
Yes, it's on Jump Giga. It's not weekly. Anyway,
right. I was going to say, isn't Black Clover like one of those ones that's hinting at having pairings?
Yeah, with Asta and Noel. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's different.
Let's see. Anyway, Space says the only reason Izuku was blushing towards Ochoa in the early chat arcs was mostly because he was never really talked to a girl, especially a girl that is kind of like him. That's kind to him like a Choco.
Oh,
And then
now we're
Third
getting into
One saying,
this.
I probably agree with it. And Space saying, let's be honest, if any other girl talked to Zuko in the beginning of and was kind to him, then Zuko would have been blushing like he did with a Choco. Maybe. Let's see, Third Con saying, nah, I doubt. As he then goes like, then says Stella.
Austin, yeah, that's the pairing for Austin Noel.
Okay.
Yep.
And then Falcon says, Asta's are good with any girl. The biggest exception in SJ.
It's Shonen Jump.
Arguably, Shonen Jump. Arguably,
Oh,
perhaps let's see commenting on Asta's hair and stats. But anyway, then we've got all those comments talked about. MangaReader, would you like to give your score?
I will. Thank you. I will get to the score in a minute, but since we're bringing that up, damn, those comments definitely had to now make things interesting. Son of a bitch. Fine, I'll do the score first, and then we can, I guess, kind of dilly-dally around with the comments. So, yes, my score was actually going to be what Farron had, which was an 8 out of 10. And it wasn't because anything to do with my beliefs in what should have happened and what shouldn't have happened. I did just like to point out that, yeah, I was lied to in the sense that I was going to be told something that wasn't, but that has nothing to do with the chapter. I just like pointing that out, is all. But no, my 8 out of 10 really just stems from the fact that do I like Toga as a character? Sure. Do I like Shigaraki as a character? Sure. Do I find all the emotions between them, Deku and Ochaku, to be kind of forced? Yes. That's where my thing comes from. That being said, it's not like any of this is out of character. So it's not something that I think has a point deduction or anything. My versions of 10s are probably a lot different than other people's version of 10s, and I think I've only given out like maybe 2 or 3 10s throughout our 400 other discussions, albeit I don't think I was a part of many of them up to that point. But no, for me, for a 10, it has to always be, and I work my way down from that. For a 10, it has to be something that's both eye-catching, character like good character involvement, good character development, interesting paneling. That's more or less the thing, but essentially action based. And I don't know, maybe everything else would just be superficial at that point. But the other 3 things I mentioned are where I begin, and then it just gets deducted if something doesn't happen. And in this case, obviously, there's not going to be a lot of action towards the end in an epilogue, so I can't really, in my opinion, ever give it a 10. Could it have been a 9 chapter? Sure, if I highball it, but I think 8's just solid as it is, so.
Fair enough.
And I might be biased.
Got more comments from Space saying I never really cared about the canon ships unless they mess with the canon. Sexuality, like Isuku being gay. Fred Khan saying so they came in support for us. And then Space saying it's really true that ships out. Let's see. I only truly care about ships out when they're like out of the story like with fanfics. Khan saying fair enough. And I'm going like also I love playing as Shigaraki and Dabi in the games. Fun choices. Space going like Love Izuku and Toro, for example, I don't believe it would be canon the ship just, nor should it be. And then Fred comes and Tomoro, you mean Hakekake, she's the visible girl. And going like, do you guys believe My Hero Academia has been doing the final chapters better than Naruto? We'll get to that question in a sec. Let's see if Fred Khan says yes. He also agrees and at least gave an epilogue arc. But yeah, arguably, I think we can all agree that in terms of both pairings and ending, My Hero Academia so far is better than Naruto's ending.
We lost Rave.
Lucky Cheese gone. I did not realize that. Hold on, let me just message him.
He's gonna. No, I just said that, but. Well, yeah, Naruto got one epilogue. And it wasn't even like a true epilogue, I guess.
Yeah, it felt more like a prologue.
AirPods died, he said. So yeah, he'll probably maybe be back on. Otherwise, we'll do what we did again the last time, which was reading his comments.
All right, let me just message him saying, will you be able to get back on? You'll hop back in on 10 minutes. Okay. Let's see.
I guess we can keep it going.
I see it's crack shipping, and I like crack ships and fanfic, but anyway. And also, Naruto didn't have an epilogue at a time skip for terrible decisions. Okay. But anyway. So
yeah,
sorry, go on.
I was gonna say, yeah, its epilogue was literally just its final chapter, and it wasn't like a true epilogue in any sense to begin with. It was like, hey, this is what happened.
So yeah. So out of everything that's going in, would you say this Ritzy, Midoriya, and Uraraka, are they a canon ship now, or are they not a canon ship now?
Before I answer that, there was an epilogue, but we all don't want to admit what that epilogue was.
Yeah, let's see. Ignore what the last chapter.
But I'm just talking about we all know what the Naruto epilogue was supposed to be. We just don't like to admit what that epilogue was because it wasn't good. And I'm talking about a movie. That was their epilogue.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. And why wouldn't you forget about that? But now back to your couple thing. It's open-ended. I mean, you could think of it that way. You could think they're just still friends. I don't think there's confirmation one way or the other.
Yeah. Arguably, yeah, it definitely feels like he left it open-ended.
Which, to Farad's point, I don't know if, like she said, I don't know if I necessarily agree with Naruto screwing with Shonen's desire to have canon pairings or whatnot, but in Koi's case, I think he's playing it safe. Only because of the other side being, Deku.
And Bakugo.
Bakugo. And because he's been a little more friendly towards whatever you want to call LGBTQ, minority, whatever, yada yada, whatnot. He's been more generous towards that type of fandom in general. I could understand why he wanted to maybe play it safe in that sense. Maybe. That might not even be the reason. I'm just saying that that's a possibility.
You don't, and to be fair, he has, in some cases, like you said, made some characters for the LGBT community. Though, granted, there are some bits where I would say he needs some work to do. For example, the one member of the League of Villains that was trans did end up being murdered brutally before she could
And I
actually
wonder if and again, that some of that's probably mandated in some capacity. I'm not saying that they're saying, hey, you can't have that. You got to get rid of it. Or you have to do it in this fashion. I mean, I don't know. Again, him giving spotlight to anyone, regardless of how well it is on him. He can do whatever he wants. And like I said, maybe he played a part in it. I don't know. I mean, or maybe he realized he screwed up and didn't give him enough attention like he would have wanted. Thus, all open-endedness.
I mean, it's weird because it seems like for most people, what mostly Uraraka focused on in terms of her character was her relationship with Midoriya. So it's like, you'd think that would pay off a bit.
Right. It wasn't like there was ever any threat, and so it wasn't any like real love triangle.
Yeah. Arguably, in some ways, I think Koei probably learned that trying to copy the Naruto love triangle was not the best thing. Granted, we've got Lucky Chi has returned.
For now.
You're back, Lucky Chi.
Maybe.
Perfect.
What the hell is happening? Oh, there. Okay.
Spacing. I mean, Hirokashi did get death threats over ships, so I guess it was a good thing it's an open ending. Let's see. Fred counting. Wait, what? And saying, "Welcome back, Lucky Chi." But anyway, Lucky Chi. I was just asking MangaReader the question: would you consider Midoriya and Uraraka as canon now, or not canon?
I think for the time being, it's as close to canon as it's gonna get, just for now. Even if it is like left up in the air.
Yeah, in regards to Space's comments here, I would, but a lot of the blushing, particularly on Uraraka's part, does not really imply that to me. I mean, let's see. If she wasn't for the blushing red moments, I would probably agree with you. But let's see. But no, Uraraka, the way Uraraka blushed and got embarrassed, especially in the way other members of Class 1A and reacted whenever it looked like the two were getting closer, I would say their moments are meant to be taken in a romantic sense.
Like I said, it's at most it's always been essentially one-sided. You can make an argument about Deku, but Hiyori just always kept it under wraps. I mean, there's not much to say.
Yeah, and not to mention Toga pretty much commented multiple times with Uraraka about how they both love the same person.
Right.
Now, granted, Toga has his own twisted sense of love. So, but yeah. Now, arguably, I would probably let's see. Arguably, no. Arguably, you could say that the talk wasn't exactly romance, but arguably because it was more about Uraraka being Midoriya's hero. Though, depending on how you could feel, you could imply the subtext could imply that with Midoriya, but again, I think it was open enough up for interpretation. So at the very least, I'd say this. I'm not entirely sure if Uraraka and Midoriya were a canon couple after the events of this chapter, but at the very least, I'd say they are the very least. If anyone's going to get together with Midoriya, it's likely to be Ochaku, and it's not going to be someone like Bakugo, saying there are multiple views you can look at. Yeah, I'm saying that. At the very least, I think Midoriya and Ochaku have gone a lot more closer as a result of this conversation, whether it potentially lead to romance or not. But at the very least, no. Uraraka and Bakugo isn't happening, or Midoriya and Bakugo isn't happening. So I think, let's see, and spaces, like I said, they're semi-canon for now. So yeah, I can interpret them as, let's see, semi-canon or canon, depending on how you like to view it. Unless something else happens in like any future My Hero Academia spin-off or media thing. But at the moment, I'd say, let's see, you can consider them canon or maybe semi-canon or not quite canon, but hints that they could full-on become canon. And at the very least, I definitely say My Hero Academia romance better than Naruto romance. I don't know. How do you guys agree? MangaReader and
I don't know. It's actually really a coin toss on that, because for as dumb as it is that that Naruto went against its own freaking how do I want to put it? Okay. Naruto had something going that kind of worked, because the pairing that it was hinting at actually got developed fairly well, only for it to, actually go around and get cock blocked by its own author. Whereas in My Hero Academia, the friendship's still there, but we don't really have any confirmation one way or the other from the main character, so we don't know. So I actually consider it kind of a toss. I don't know if it's better or worse. I mean, it's better in the sense that it didn't destroy what it tried to do, but it didn't really capitalize on it either.
I suppose, at the very least, I think I would prefer no pairings get together rather than toxic or bad pairings getting together.
Well, that's when you say it that way, yeah.
Let's see, how about you, Lucky Chi?
It's about the same.
Fair enough. Now, did you give your score yet, MangaReader? I've been meaning to ask, sorry.
I said 8 out of 10.
Oh, yeah. And I believe I gave it 8.5. And did you give it 9, Lucky Chi?
What was that?
Did you give it, what score did you give it?
Give it a 9.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, spacing. Isn't it better than the open ending than the bad ships happening? True. Let's see. So arguably, let's see, yeah. If they're ever going to do, I don't know, pairings, who knows? It may be best to try and do some multiverse thing on that, but who knows? I guess it really depends on how this franchise is going to move forward post. Let's see, ending.
If we do any.
The last thing anybody wants is what happened with Attack on Titan. Oh my god. Bad.
You're never going to live that down.
Nope.
But again, the worst thing that could happen is it just doesn't happen at all.
Yeah.
That's what would happen there.
That'd be the worst thing.
Right.
Oh no. Let's see. We do not know that there's going to be some announcements with My Academia and down the line. We'll have to see what goes down. Let's see on there as well.
Right. But so I mean, open ending's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And again, in My Hero's case, he was kind of safe in terms of things. This ending isn't necessarily like man. If an open ending would have happened in Naruto, it would have. I mean, bad ending or not, open ending would have absolutely sucked. Not knowing what the ending was.
Yeah, arguably in some ways, arguably with Naruto, yes, they did so much focus on the romance, particularly as that was the central part of Sakura's entire character growth, that one way or another, it's like, you're really not going to resolve this issue. Unfortunately, it did resolve poorly, and as a result, the series has been damaged for a lot of reasons, and in some ways, I don't think it ever truly recovered, despite what some people might say.
I don't think it's the main reason, though.
In hindsight, obviously, we would have accepted a open ending now, but I'm just talking about when you think about it, obviously bad ending or not, at least they resolved an issue.
Mhm.
I can't fathom to this day why you would focus on a pairing that you, so, for all interviews after the decision, he claims that it was pre-planned. So I just don't know how you could devote your whole time to something and not just wipe it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think anyone that anyone that pays attention will think that, okay, no, you're being bullshit.
I wouldn't even say pay attention. Anyone who just reads
Yeah.
should at least somewhat question, well, nothing was there. That doesn't, again, when something isn't being presented clearly, when you're painting your supposed main character ship between Sasuke and Sakura and never painting it in a positive light, not once, not even in your ending did you paint it in a way positive light, because the whole finger poke was never used for good. It was always for distance. It was to distance Sasuke from Itachi, not connect them together. Ugh.
Yeah, also you got like Kishimoto's wife not being happy with the endgame pairings. I think that says a lot.
I don't even know if anyone even talks about it anymore. I get that there's Bordo at this point, but I don't even know what Kishimoto's doing. Supposedly he's the author again in people's minds. Supposedly. I don't even know what fucking Bordo's up to anymore. I haven't even seen anyone, and I'm glad I don't, but like, Jesus Christ, just die already. You're not even selling.
Fair enough. Yeah, let's see. About Lakichi got a question saying, is it confirmed by Ishiyama that Miss Ikasa died alone?
I think it's heavily implied that she ends up with Jean. So, not even heavily. You see the child, so yeah. Well, she ended up with Jean.
And yet Aaron wanted to end up with her.
That's what I'm saying. Shit don't make any sense.
For Lucky Chi, that moment ruined Aaron's character.
Don't even get me started.
It's crazy though, because I mean, it's just like what she was saying the whole time. There was like nothing there. He tried to distance it, and then all of a sudden he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
What? I didn't really read. I mean, I started trying to read into Attack on Titan, but then I don't know. I read like the first 2 chapters, and then I don't know what made me stop. I mean, it wasn't like it was an uninteresting or anything. I just didn't keep up with it, and then I saw you were like major fan of it, so I just figured you would keep me in the loop somehow. And then the ending happened, and then you lost everything.
Mm-hmm. Like, I thought I was getting hopeful again, and then AOT reminded me, nah, don't do it a third time.
So romance-wise, at least in My Hero, I'll give Koei credit. He didn't try to focus on it. He didn't really even try to put too much emphasis, even with 2 characters that were kind of revolved around it as the main connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the very least, at the very least, My Hero avoided the problems that eventually led to many people being put off with Naruto, with how its shipping drama concluded.
To this day, I don't actually. I hate to go back to Naruto on this, but it's like to this day, I have no idea. Japan obviously loved Narusaku. I can't argue that. I mean, anyone even trying to argue that would be dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the thing is, I don't know how popular Naru, Hina, and Saku were over there.
I think there was some popularity for Saku, but I think my understanding, the Saku fans, they expected Saku to become canon there. In fact, I think most Japan fans, that whether they shipped Saku or not, considered Saku to be, I believe, the golden pairing there, where it's like expected to happen but didn't. Let's see. Now there are all kinds of reactions when I think it didn't become canon. I think someone like, wait, is this an infinite Tsukuyomi? But when they realized, oh, it wasn't going to become canon, some got outraged, but more kind of got more outraged when, like, particularly when Studio Period tried to push Hinata, especially with the false advertising for the last one, if everyone thought Kakashi and Sasuke are going to get spotlights in that film. And they did not like that.
So I know in the States, I mean, I can't even 100% say, but I feel like I feel 100% certain when I say in the States that, yeah, Naruhino was more popular. Can't tell you why. I don't think anyone I've ever interacted with that was a fan of shipping can really give me a definitive answer.
I think if I had to guess, they thought it was like the good girl next door type of ship, where Sakura was the popular mean girl, while Hinata was the sweet girl next door that was there for you all along kind of trope. I think that's why.
Well, I do know for a fact that the anime had a negative effect on people's opinion of Sakura.
Yeah.
Single-handedly, the anime, and it wasn't necessarily their fault. It was people over in America still, for the whatever reason, do not understand the tsundere trope.
Well, arguably, maybe not initially their fault, but I do think they eventually did start doing more of the worst traits and started showing favoritism towards Hinata.
Which was only in the fillers. They didn't really do anything in the actual canon stuff to make her seem better.
Yeah.
I don't remember, anyway, them doing anything canon-wise, other than in the Shippuden arc, they've fucked up entirely, but...
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. In regards to what Space is saying about thank you, Koei, for not doing a love triangle. The closest I'd say you ever got to a love triangle would be Midoriya, Toga, and Uraraka, but that was never going to be a serious love triangle, regardless. But that's because Toga's sense of love is a bit more twisted.
Right. So yeah, I'm still under... impression-wise, I still think they're kind of equal in the sense that one decided to focus on it and fucked up. The other one decided to not really focus on it, but kind of left you thinking, eh. So, I don't know. I don't really think My Hero did anything better or worse in that aspect. So, and again, revisionist history would have been, well, I would have loved an open ending in Naruto, and no, you wouldn't. You would have absolutely been shitting bricks.
If I had to guess, the reason the open ending thing became a bit more popular over time is so they wouldn't have gotten something like Boruto as a spin-off.
Boruto's just everything that GT did for Dragon Ball, but wrong. And even then, it's even worse than that, because GT wasn't like a sequel to something that already needed a... Dragon Ball just continued itself and had Gohan and Goten. We didn't even follow them in GT, but it was just like, at least Dragon Ball knew who we were trying to follow. Toriyama was smart enough to realize, hey, everyone likes Goku. Let's follow Goku.
Oh, you got Space saying, what about Bleach, on the other hand? Oh, I think that love triangle was also controversial with how the canon couples happened.
You're never going to hear me say that I thought Ichi Hime was good, but you'll also never hear me say that it wasn't at least written fairly decently.
Oh, yeah. You definitely had similar reactions to how the Naruto pairings happened, but maybe not to the same scale as
the people that
Sorry,
you go first. Yeah, you stay first, and then I'll say what I have to say.
As I think, well, not really. Well, arguably, let's see. Oh, Lucky Chi seems to have lost us again. But yeah, Bleach wasn't even love triangle. Yeah, I think this is the whole thing with Bleach. On one hand, there were many people that weren't happy that Ichigo and Rukia didn't get together. On the one hand, there weren't many people that could be super downright negative, like with Sasusaku, because none of the Bleach ships had that same toxicity that Sasusaku had. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, there was no really love triangle unless you count the, let's see, ship wars between the fan bases, but arguably, yeah, I would say that there's never like a, let's see, I think Bleach, while you had probably initial similar reactions, I think you had the Bleach fans cooling down a lot better than the Naruto ones, but that's mostly because, well, Naruto's shipping was destroyed by its horrible writing.
Mm. To put on Spaces, there was no triangle. That actually is true. Rukia never really displayed actual outright feelings for Ichigo, vice versa as well. But at the same time, I mean, Ichigo never really displayed any feelings for anyone on a romantic level. But the reason Ichiruki was super popular was mainly thanks to character dynamic, which is essentially what, well, I can't even say Ichaku, whatever the freaking ship is called. IzuOcha, whatever. I can't even think straight right now. Whatever Deku and Uraraka are called. I can't even put it on that level because Ichiruki actually had like really, really good like character interactions.
Let's see. Now,
Even if just on a platonic level, they just had really good. But my initial point that I was going to say, the people that absolutely confuse me are the ones that say that Ichiruki was not on the same level as Narusaku. Like I found someone on X that I don't follow, but I happened to find was someone that was a Saku shipper that was absolutely devastated that Ichiruki didn't happen. And their whole wild acclamation was that Narusaku was not on the same level. And I don't for 1 second buy that that's a legitimate argument.
Yeah. Just to answer Space's question, why did Kishimoto try to do a love triangle anyway? Well, like partly what Third Khan said, it was, let's see, Kishimoto was partly inspired by Slam Dunk and Dino Dakugan, but I think it was also due to the fact that Kishimoto didn't know how to make the story move forward with just Naruto alone, so he created the rival with Sasuke. So he needed like let's see, Sasuke to have a rival to have the story move forward, and then added a romantic love interest, which to further increase that rivalry, because in a sense it was supposed to be like Naruto likes the girl, but the girl likes his rival, and that sort of angers Naruto and fuels like the rivalry a bit more. Now, arguably, someone say, "Oh no, Naruto only likes Sakura because the rival is Sasuke," but it's supposed to be more of the fact that Naruto has a crush on this girl. Unfortunately, this girl has a crush on his rival, and that fuels the rivalry to make it a bit more tense. As we saw, some of Naruto's actions were a result of trying to up Sasuke to try and impress Sakura. So, yeah, so that's arguably why that love triangle was done. But I think the biggest mistake Kishimoto probably did was perhaps maybe including a girl that had a crush on Naruto, which had nothing to do with the overall main story. But yeah,
To his credit, as far as I know, I mean, I don't know if it was actually planned, but to what I understand, Hinata was planned originally, and then he didn't decide to do it at all, and then he switched to Sakura.
are you
I
talking
don't know if
about?
that's a myth.
Okay. Oh,
What?
hold on. Are you talking about that whole her being assistant to the Ichiraku Ramen stand guy? If you're
No, I was just talking about how his original story was supposed to play before he made it like this vast ninja type thing.
yeah,
How Naruto was supposed to, yeah.
I don't think Hinata was created. It was thought of before like Sasuke or Sakura.
I don't
think.
know. Like I said, maybe it's a myth that just made its way
Yeah,
through the internet, but
yeah,
I've seen that thing floated. So
yeah. I think as far as I can tell, the first characters in Naruto created were Naruto himself, the third Hokage in a sense, because Etsy and the Ichiraku Ramen guy, and then Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi were created next, followed by Kamaharu, and then eventually all the other characters that would really play a large role in Naruto's life.
because I think the Naruto prototype was him in like some real life setting with a
Yeah,
demon fox. Yeah.
yeah, he was an actual demon fox. There was still ninja stuff there, but it was more of a more modern world. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's see.
So, like I said, I don't know. Maybe that was just a myth that was floated around, but
Yeah.
regardless.
Let's see. Third concept, Hinata was supposed to be a girl from a village who makes Sakura jealous by liking Naruto. She's instantly kissed Melody, growing his team by creating Hinata to be a beautiful looking girl. But
I
yeah.
thought she was supposed to be a princess, but regardless.
No, I don't think she was supposed to be a princess, but yeah.
That was the myth. I'm just saying that that's the thing that was floated around. I don't know.
Space saying, you guys agree with the last that screws Naruto's character over? Yes, absolutely. We hate the last. We hate what it does to Naruto. And
The last will try to gaslight you that what you were saying, Blue, that Naruto was only doing it for his rivalry. That's what the last will try to gaslight you into believing, that Naruto did everything, every little aspect of anything involving Sakura was always supposed to be trying to one up Sasuke.
which is
For whatever freaking reason, their whole thought process was that, oh, Naruto's not actually in love. He's just trying to win over a girl that throughout the entire manga never showed any interest on the loving aspect. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like especially as I think Third Khan says, he became Scumbag Kun because many of the Japanese fans, from my understanding, called Naruto the ultimate scumbag because let's see, back in the whole love confession in the Land of Island, when Naruto said, I hate people who lie to themselves, when he was accusing Sakura of lying about certain aspects of that confession. Let's see, they said that, okay, then you have been lying about your feelings for Sakura this entire time. When, no, let's see, we learned that from the third chapter that the reason why Naruto likes Sakura is because it's her drive to get acknowledged, just like him. So yeah, we get an idea of why he likes her. We see it throughout the entire, let's see, we see throughout the entire series that Naruto likes Sakura, genuinely impressed when she does something amazing, and also, yeah, and let's see. Also, Space says, also, I've been recently hearing that Sakura in the fake confession scene was in love with Naruto. Oh, yeah. Let's see. In regards to that confession, I believe what many people are saying in that is that Sakura was actually being honest about liking Naruto, but lying about still not having any feelings at all for Sasuke. It's that she may be, she might be thinking that she's not really actually in love with Naruto, but she's actually pouring out her actual feelings without realizing it, if you will. Given the fact that the way she's blushing, it's like, that's not really something you can fake. But yeah, that's at least that. Anyway, Lucky Chi, as you can see, we end up, I'm not sure how much you were following, but we were mostly talking about
whatever, the comments, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with the Narasaka and
Yeah.
IzuOcha. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the scandal with like the Bleach one, and then let's see, asking if the last screwed
I
Nazis.
mean, okay, I did hear the Bleach one. I didn't get a chance to comment on it, but I'll say this for Bleach. I was fine with either one. Like, even though I was leaning more towards Ichi and Ruki, but I was like, if it goes the other way, it's not gonna bother me.
Yeah, I think this is also where you got more people more enthusiastic for Bleach continuing with its Hellverse. Let's see.
The reason Ichi Hime probably didn't sit with a lot of Ichi Ruki fans is Kubo's decision to essentially wipe Rukia off the map, interacting with Ichigo in the final arc.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was like, wait a second, hold on.
So when they return from their healing process with their new abilities, Ichigo and Rukia are just never interacting from that point onward.
Except for
that is the one. Yeah,
essentially, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one part about that where I was like, huh, that's choice. But
so that was more or less his only development towards Ichihime, because a lot of Orihime's dialogue before that part was about how Rukia seems to always bring out the best in Ichigo.
Ichigo, yeah. She's always able to do that.
Yeah, I'd say at the very least, I think most people feel like it should have been Ichigo and Rukia teaming up to take down Bach at the end instead of Ichigo and Renji, when the two, along with Aizen, at the very least, because of like
that would have been nice. I'll be honest.
At the very least, who knows? At the very least, it could feel like let's see, downplaying Rukia a little bit in the final arc, just to not give hints of the ship becoming canon. I mean, it's very possible that Rukia and Renji was always going to be a thing that happened or not. But I don't know. I guess Kubo either made it to, let's see, Renji and Rukia a bit too vague on that part.
I mean, I know there. I mean, you and I did a whole podcast on this, but Bleach is very reminiscent of Yu Yu Hakusho. So if you're gonna go on that aspect, Yusuke or Ichigo being like Yusuke, then Orihime in this case would be like Keiko. But
the problem is he didn't write Keiko the way that Yu Yu Hakusho wrote Keiko.
Yeah.
But also, Yu Yu Hakusho didn't even try to fuck around with any other ship in the first place.
No, it was like within like the first 5 episodes that he laid it out flat, like it's Yusuke Keiko.
Yeah. There wasn't any other girl that was even introduced anyway that would have made any type of sense. Kuwabara was the one that technically had couple shots at different people.
He had who was it? Yukina and I think it was just Yukina, right? I remember somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was just a bunch of side girls, but it was mainly, I think, it was Hiei's sister. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, to answer Space's question here, didn't Rukia want Ichigo to end up with Orihime? I don't know if she wanted them to become a couple, but at the very least, I think she wanted Ichigo to consider Orihime's feelings into consideration a bit more. Particularly,
I need to go back and reread, which that has been a long time.
I mean, I might be Mitzi. I need to probably reread it, but I'm not entirely sure if it would left that interpretation. But yeah.
If there was a good time to maybe start stressing Ichigo and Orihime, it should have been the Fullbringer arc. But that whole
arc, and I would have said Fullbringer arc and maybe like a Rancor. The Rancor.
It could have been the Rancor, but I'm just saying that the Fullbring would have been the perfect opportunity because that was when Ichigo. Yeah, well, Ichigo didn't have his powers, so he had the ability to just focus on the people in his life that he could interact with. But instead, the whole arc's premises is him looking towards Soul Society. So then it's like, well, it's him looking towards Rukia again.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's obviously the truth, but I mean,
it's
And then she
You think
gives
I'm
him his
lying.
powers back, and that's the first person he sees when he gets his power. It's Rukia. It's like, oh shit, you're back.
Anyway, let's see. In regards to anime ads, it's way more Ichigo Rukia scenes. It is a bit ironic that Studio Period that added way more Hinata scenes with Naruto ends up doing the reverse with Bleach with adding more scenes with
you have to
Rukia
keep
and-
in mind, Blue. The team behind Bleach was very different from the team that did Naruto. So you obviously had a contrast there between the two.
Yeah,
Because quite literally, the same team that did Yu Yu Hakusho did Bleach.
in some ways, you
Did it
could
now?
argue, in terms of like female characters and shipping, let's see, Bleach and Naruto got the wrong teams in Studio Period.
Yeah.
The only reason Bleach might have added more Rukia was thanks in part to the 2 fillers in between the actual arcs.
Yeah.
The Bount and the
Anyway,
the other one in between. I'm trying to remember.
and let's see, in regards to like
They gave a
Naruto's
whole filler arc to Cone and somehow made it work. I was like, dang. Actually,
The other thing that went for Ichiruki, and I don't remember. I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought Kubo did write the 3rd movie,
he did.
which was Fade to Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you can look to it as just a friendship-based movie, but it's kind of hard to say that, oh, hey, someone, like, even Renji forgot who Rukia was, but
I don't even think
Ichigo didn't.
I was gonna say I don't even think you have like any of the other characters show up. I think it's just Ichigo and Cone in that entire movie.
Well, yeah, it's only
No,
Ichigo and
the Soul, the Soul Reapers do show up.
It's just that
All of
Ichigo's
Soul Society forgot Rukia, even her brother.
Well, no,
But Ichigo,
I was referring to like Orihime and.
Oh well, yeah. None of those guys show up.
Yeah.
But that's because it takes place in Soul Society. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they didn't show up with that one, which is a bit strange. But
They didn't show up.
Yeah. Anyway, moving from Bleach then just to regards to like Naruto's character. Let's see. I was just saying with MangaReader that let's see, due to like the whole rivalry thing that they made Naruto do, that ruined it. But there's also the fact that they made Naruto completely dense about love, that he couldn't tell the difference between loving food to loving a person.
Well, that's the last opinion of it. I mean, if you read the manga, you clearly knew that he knew something.
Yeah, I mean, he literally asked his mom, "How did you fall in love with Dad?" Also, literally in the first arc, said to Ritzy, shouted at Zabuza about how Haku loved him.
Yeah.
So it's like Naruto does understand love. Yeah.
Whatever their interpretation was, I think they wanted to make it seem like he was just too dense to not really necessarily catch on to it, and that he didn't want to believe it. But
it's like,
I don't know. For a character that kind of revolves around wanting attention, it would be kind of weird that he didn't want to pay attention to the one.
Also, understanding emotions.
Right. Well, I know James, and Mitten. Anyone who's listening probably may or may not know who James is, but he can't find this anymore. But he used to have a translation of the pamphlet, and maybe it wasn't a right implement. Maybe it was translated wrong. I don't know. Regardless, I just remember to this day that pamphlet that he was talking about, where it said that whoever was directing the movie basically said that the Genjutsu was supposed to give Naruto clarification about Hinata's feelings, and that him reciprocating her feelings was supposed to be his punishment for not essentially for not realizing it sooner.
In regards to that, Khan, he he's planning to come back. He's just having bad timing of getting it up and running. Let's see. But yeah. So what were you saying, MangaReader?
I was saying that James had a pamphlet or a translation of a pamphlet that he can no longer find.
Yeah.
That again, that the whole Genjutsu thing that was supposed to give Naruto clarity on Hinata's feelings for him was supposed to be a punishment. He was supposed to reciprocate her feelings, essentially, and bear it as his punishment for not realizing her feelings earlier.
Okay, that's dumb because you could clearly tell from his reaction he knew what Hinata was referring to.
Of course. But the whole idea that Naruhito was essentially Naruto's punishment for not doing anything, I guess you could argue that maybe that is their intention, but...
No, but see, well, if it's their intention, it's completely stupid, but yeah. But
of course,
anyway, but unfortunately, there's a lot of the old translations, particularly with like the more pro-Narusaku ones, that were lost when many of the fans dropped the series and deleted all their stuff.
I mean,
Right.
I'll say this: if you wanted to, if for whatever reason you wanted to do the whole Naruhina ship thing, the simplest solution, just say right from the beginning of the last act, Naruto and Hinata got close after the war. That's it.
Arguably, they could have, but no, they decided to do this convoluted mess thing and not only ruin Naruto's character, but also, let's see, the series, and also make people hate Hinata. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even saying, like, oh, just have them be together from the start. No, just make it so they're close, and it's like, maybe.
Or, not spend wasteless chapters on having anything look like...
Narusaku? Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Nothing will ruin Hinata's character more than, oh man, his hand feels nice and warm.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Let's see. Anyway, I'll just wrap this bit off here with saying, at least with Space said a while back, saying at least My Hero Academia didn't make Urko dance about love.
Yes,
yeah, I think.
That is true.
When Toga confessed him, he had a very good basic understanding of what romance or being someone's boyfriend was. So,
hell no. He's like, I'm taken.
But yeah.
Subconsciously.
So, he's like, so yeah. So anyway, I think we've pretty much wrapped up this stream. And we may have even gone a bit off talking about ships in general. But,
and I'm also sorry on my end with my burbuts going on.
That's fine. So, pretty much we have these chapters are generally good, but these chapters were generally good, but there are some moments that sort of damage them, like Edgeshot being still alive, and also some bits are like, depending on how you feel, let's see, being like open or ended or not with the whole let's see, Midori and the Uraraka thing, but at the very least, it didn't do any of the bad ship things that happened with Naruto and Attack on Titan. Let's see, it was fun, and let's see. Thank you, Space, for joining us. Thank you, Fad Kun, for joining us, and thank you for all the others that ended up watching and commenting on the stream. Thank you again, MangaReader and Lucky Chi, for joining me for this review. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Let's see, with chapter 430 as we review the final chapter of My Hero Academia.
That's a discussion. I haven't even told these guys how I felt about it, but I'm keeping that under wraps.
Yes, and hopefully we'll have time to review it next week. I'm not sure when. At the very least, I'm available Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
I'll just say this for a little tease on chapter 430. I might be unhinged. I haven't decided how unhinged I'll be, but
unhinged. Well, now you're spoiling it a little bit on that regard, then.
It might. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to commit to it.
I know, but just saying unhinged alone could essentially says what it means. So, regardless, it'll be interesting for anyone that wants to pop in 4:30 whenever we do it.
Yeah. But I'm hoping, like I said, either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I know. Are you guys available for those days?
Gotta check.
I mean, it's gonna be weird. I might be technically on Thursday, but we'll see.
What about you?
I'll have my stuff with me, but I'm on vacation next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I don't know.
yeah, unless if Blue wants to, we could save it for next, like a little bit after. But
Okay, at the very least, next week or the week after, one of those 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Because I'd like to get this done as soon as possible, given the fact that
It's over.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
but
Oh,
also,
you know what I did? You know what I didn't? We kind of somewhat didn't bring up. I'm curious as to why the fourth movie for My Hero is going to be unrelated towards whatever this is.
oh, you're
Well, yeah.
next.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to try and review the chapter while the momentum is still there. But anyway, we'll discuss it all later. Thank you for everyone for listening. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber.
I'm MangaReader.
I'm LuckyRave.
And we are signing off. Goodbye, everyone. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Plus this Ultra.
Plus Ultra. And to answer that last question, Space, would you do extra praises when the volumes come out? Maybe. But with that, Plus Ultra, everyone. Goodbye.
Plus Ultra. That's fine.